Most people think budgeting means tracking every single coffee and grocery receipt. It doesn't. There's a simpler system, and you can set it up in about 10 minutes. It's called the 50-30-20 rule, and it's one of the most practical money frameworks ever created. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how it works and how to apply it to your own income. No spreadsheet required. The 50-30-20 rule was popularized by Elizabeth Warren, yes, the senator, back in her book, All Your Worth, written in 2005. The core idea is simple. Split your after-tax income into 3 buckets. 50% goes to needs, 30% goes to wants, 20% goes to savings and debt repayment. That's it, 3 categories, not 47 line items in a spreadsheet. Let's dig into each bucket, starting with the 50% needs category. Needs are the expenses you literally cannot skip. Things that would cause serious problems if you stopped paying them. Rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation to work, minimum debt payments, health insurance. Notice what's not in the needs category. Netflix, your gym membership, going out to eat, your $14 streaming services. Those are wants, and we'll get to them. Here's a practical example. Let's say your take-home pay after taxes is $4,000 a month. Using the 50-30-20 rule, that means your needs should be no more than $2,000 per month. That's rent, groceries, utilities, transportation, the whole essential expenses pile capped at $2,000. If your rent alone is $1,800, you've got $200 left for everything else in the needs bucket. That's a sign something needs to change. Either find a cheaper living situation, increase your income, or temporarily steal from the wants bucket. The rule is a guide, not a cage. Now the 30% wants bucket. This is the fun money. Dining out, subscriptions, hobbies, travel, shopping, concerts. Anything you spend money on for enjoyment or lifestyle that you technically could live without. Using our $4,000 example, that's $1,200 a month for wants. That sounds like a lot until you start adding up all your subscriptions, your weekly restaurant trips, your online shopping habits. Most people are shocked when they tally up their wants spending. This is where the budget actually gives you freedom, not restriction. You've got your $1,200 and it's yours to spend guilt-free on whatever you enjoy, as long as you stay in the bucket. When the money's gone, it's gone. But there's no shame in spending it. The 20% bucket is where you build your future. This covers emergency fund contributions, investing, Roth IRA, 401k, and extra debt payments beyond the minimums. Back to our $4,000 example. That's $800 a month toward your financial future. $800 a month into a Roth IRA and index funds every month from age 25 to 65, compounding at 7% annually? That's over $2 million. The 20% bucket is where wealth gets built. Quick priority order for your 20%. First, get your employer 401k match if you have one. That's a 100% instant return. Beat that anywhere else. Second, build your emergency fund. Aim for 3 6-months of expenses in a high-yield savings account. Third, max out your Roth IRA. Fourth, pay off high-interest debt aggressively. Fifth, invest in a taxable brokerage account. Work through that list in order. Don't skip to step 3 if you haven't done step 1. Now let's talk about how to actually implement this. Step 1. Know your after-tax monthly income. This is your take-home pay. What actually lands in your bank account each month. If you're salaried, check your last pay stub. If you're self-employed, average the last 3 months. Step 2. Calculate your 3 numbers. Multiply your income by 0.5, 0.3, and 0.2. Write them down. Step 3. Audit your current spending. Go through last month's bank and credit card statements. Just last month, nothing more. Categorize each transaction as a need, want, or savings. Add them up. Step 4. Compare where you are versus where you should be. Most people discover their needs are too high and their savings are way too low. That's normal. The point isn't perfection, it's awareness. Step 5. Make 1 or 2 adjustments. Don't try to overhaul everything at once. Maybe you cancel 2 subscriptions. Maybe you pack lunch 3 days a week. Maybe you automate $200 to savings on payday. Small pivots, compounded over time, change everything. Speaking of automation, this is the secret weapon. Set up automatic transfers on payday. The moment your paycheck hits, have 20% automatically moved to savings investing before you can spend it. What you don't see, you don't miss. This one habit alone will do more for your financial future than any amount of budgeting willpower. Let me address the pushback. My rent is 60% of my income. I live in a high cost of living city. I have student loans eating my savings. All valid. Life is messy, and the math doesn't always work cleanly. The 50-30-20 rule is a framework, not a law. If you're in a high-cost city, maybe your split is 60-20-20 for now. If you're aggressively paying off debt, maybe it's 50-20-30, flipping wants and savings. The categories matter more than hitting the exact percentages. The question to ask yourself is, am I spending intentionally? Do I know where my money goes? Am I saving something? If the answer to all three is yes, your budget is working. Let's recap. The 50-30-20 rule splits your after-tax income into 3 buckets: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for savings and debt payoff. Calculate your 3 numbers, audit last month's spending, make small adjustments, and automate the savings. You don't need a spreadsheet. You don't need a complicated app. You need 3 buckets and the discipline to work with them. Budgeting isn't about restriction. It's about intention. When you know where your money goes, you control it. And when you control it, you build wealth.